All right, let's talk about energy, one of my favorite topics.
Definitely.
Energy quarterly revenue approaching $3.5 billion. That's a nice chart.
It's a nice chart.
Right, look at the trend. You can draw some nice lines on this. Sometimes there's some peaks here and so on, but we're headed in the right direction here. Here's services and other revenues. This is also a pretty impressive chart.
Yeah.
And you should expect this because as the fleet grows,
Yes. Yes.
right, there's services and other things for all those vehicles that are sold.
Sure.
Okay. If you put the two together, you're approaching 7 billion in quarterly revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be a pretty nice business just by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These two divisions. If you didn't have to sell cars, you just had energy and you just had service and other, not a bad business.
It's like $28 billion a year. Yeah, that would make
Yeah,
that would make it into the bigger companies in the country.
they would. Right. And not so long ago, this was, less than $1 billion.
Right.
So we've seen some pretty good growth. Energy cumulative gross margins now have surpassed $7 billion. It did $1 billion in gross margin this quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The first ever $1 billion quarter. Okay. So this is ramping up fast.
Mm-hmm.
Gross margin percentage, 31.4, as we discussed in our previous show.
Right.
This is the highest it's ever been. And it's kind of nice because it seems to be pretty stable at this level at this point.
Yeah.
Now, they did indicate higher competition and so on. So maybe we'll see a weakening in this a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that they mentioned it would cause you to think that. I think, what they also mentioned was it's an unlimited TAM.
Yeah.
My biggest question, and I don't have any easy way to get it answered other than to talk to the sales department, if they have a sales department, of energy, is and it was asked in the call, what is keeping, or was supposed to be asked, it could have been asked. I don't know. I can't remember whether it was asked or not asked, but it was one of the ones that was on say, is what is holding back the opening of more mega factories? Is it cells? Is it cells of the right kind? Is it there's and one of the things I've been thinking it might be is deployment issues, because from the beginning of a project to the point where you need the batteries is a long time.
Yeah.
You've got all kinds of approvals by city councils and utilities, and then once you got the approvals, then you got to building permits that are happening along the way. All of this takes time, and I just wonder whether that is what's really going on with the growth of the energy division. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Yeah, and I think that they talked about with the mega block that the inverter is part of the system,
Mm-hmm.
and that maybe removes a bottleneck.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see how much that helps things.
And
that speeds things up a bit.
And the other thing is, I don't know how hard they're trying to sell onesies. So there's, every hospital in the country needs one, maybe two of these.
Yeah.
Every factory practically in the country needs one or two of these.
That's right.
There's a whole bunch of ones and twos, and I don't know that they're even approaching that market.
Yep. No, a good point. Now, I mean, if you think about it, this is a brutal business. Look at the revenue per kilowatt hour deployed and how it's declined.
Yeah.
Right. From 2017, $2,500 per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
Right. Down to 275 today. And it's pretty much going down pretty much every single quarter.
Yeah.
With a couple of exceptions.
Yeah.
Right. And the cost, of course, is going down too. So, they're passing along the cost savings to the customers.
Yes.
This business should be rapidly growing.
Because the customer wouldn't put up with it if they didn't know.
Well, they have alternatives. It's competition.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's more than that. I've sold the government. I've sold the government a lot.
Yeah.
And you can't go to the government and rip them off and then hope the buyer is going to be happy with you when you need to be able to sell them at a regular price, with regular margins. So maybe NVIDIA can get away with it. I'm not sure, but most of the time you're trying to build a long-term relationship with the buyer because they're gonna be back, and they're gonna be back, and they're gonna be back, and they know what the cost of lithium is.
Yeah.
But I also have another story to tell on this. I can remember back in the day, 3 years ago, when this show was first starting out, Warren Redlick was on like every week. Now Warren is busy off in Thailand, trying to make a new family. Warren and I would do all this back of the napkin math about how all these things were going to blow up over time. And Warren came and he did one of them, and he's talking about energy. And he goes, yeah, he says, they'll do this many, megapacks, and these megapacks will create this much revenue. I go, okay, if we both listen to Tony Seba, the cost is going to come down as you produce more of these. The lithium cost is going to come down as you mine more of it. And so the cost of these units are going to come down. And it was actually, for me, the reason I think I remembered, it was kind of a breakthrough moment in my mind. As a manufacturer, as a product guy my whole life, this is not normal. Normally, you're looking at the product, you're going to figure the price will be stable or going up. But in the case of some of these, tech industries, the price comes down fast.
Massively so. Yeah, this is a great example of it. And I think it's expected to continue to decline over time.
Right.
The good thing about this, though, is this Megapack is, it's a bit like a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could say razor blade model.
Right.
In the sense that if you pair this with Autobidder, that you should be happy actually to sell this at no profit.
Right.
And have the Autobidder revenues for a long period of time.
Right.
And so that's why I'm wondering sort of out loud how much Autobidder now is contributing to the profitability of energy. I wish they would disclose more about that, but maybe for competitive reasons they don't.
Right.
Yeah. It's been a couple of years now since we've had much indication about how Autobidder is doing.
Yeah. And again, it raises the question, even, once again, why aren't we building more factories? It seems like we should be. And if the price is coming down this much, it just increases the TAM.
Yeah.
I can remember, I'm going to say it's 40 years ago, I looked at the possibility of putting solar on my roof of a leased building. Obviously, it's got to have a fast return on investment if you're putting it on a leased building. And there was just no way I could justify it. It had maybe an 8-year ROI, and there's no guarantee I was going to be in the building for 8 years. So, but if you get the cost of the megapacks down and the cost of solar down, all of a sudden maybe your ROI is only 2 or 3 years. It would just dramatically increase the number of people that would consider it.
Could be a week ROI.
Right, that's true.
5 minutes.
Right.
Just paid for it.
Right.